Hi, my name is Michael Hahn, and I'm one of the vision application engineers here at Floody Company, putting together another how-to video on utilizing the Cognex Easy Builder software. Today we'll be taking a look at the color tools and how to add color and set some parameters to that color. For more information on other how-to videos, you can always go to rrfloody.com or check us out at some of our YouTube channels. Anyways, let's get started. Here we have our film strip where we've got 4 different images. What we're going to be doing is just learning different colors of gumballs here and then going and setting some tolerances on that. Here we have our application steps. I'm going to go right to step 4 and then go to the lower left hand corner, and here's the group of all the different tools that we have within our Easy Builder software. The color tools are located in the identification tools. So if I hit that, open that up, I get my 2 options here. I got color and color model. I like to use color model because it allows me to build up a library of models or colors that I want to learn. So I'm going to click on that and click add, and I get my familiar magenta rectangle box here. I'm going to go up to my expanded toolbar region here, and there's a button that says maximize region because I want to look at all pixels within my complete field of view. So I click on that, it maximizes the whole region, and I hit OK. When I hit OK, there's my first tool, color model. It says no match because I haven't learned anything yet. That makes sense. I'm going to apply rule number 4 of the 6 machine vision rules, right? Rule number 4 is always name your tools. So this one I'm going to just call color, library, okay, and go back to my settings tab, and here is the button train color. When that happens, this window pops up, right? And under here I've got my library, library 1. Now there are a number of different libraries that I can create, but within this library I'm going to create a bunch of different models. So I'm going to click on new model, and I'm going to add my first color, which is red. Okay. When I hit enter, here's my, think of it as a folder, red. I'm going to go down to this button, and in that folder I'm going to add a color. It says add new color, so I click on add new color. Now that screen or window goes away and gives me my little round circle search region, right? Now what that's for is for me to place on what I view as the best of red, right? What are the peak values of red? I wouldn't want to learn like the white background or the hot spot here, or I wouldn't want to learn like the whole gumball because there's too much noise there. What I want to do is just find what I think is the best peak value, and that's kind of in this area right here, and I'm going to hit enter. The nice thing about Cognex is that some of the graphic overlay, as you can see here, all the pixels highlighted in blue are the ones that fall within my RGB value here of 2, 12, 46, and 20. Now I want to expand that. I want to expand some of the hues, highlights, and other things. So here we have our 4 slider bars. We've got darker, and then we've got lighter on the color. Then we've got the highlights of that particular color, and then we got the hues. I always like to start with hue, so if I crank that up and add more of the hue, that's quite a bit. Some of this red looks like it's darker, so I might actually take my slider bar and go a little bit on the darker side. Not bad. Found a lot of this. I really don't want to learn this colors here because that's kind of washed out. Kind of looks a little bit like orange. So I'm going to say I'm okay with that color right now. The next color I'm going to learn is orange. So I'm going to just click new model and type in orange, and in orange I'm going to click again new color, right? And I'm going to take my circle and I'm going to find the best orange and place it and then hit enter. Again, the graphic overlays show up. I got 2 orange gumballs that I want to find. I'm going to adjust my hue first and see how much of that I can find. Not bad. I got some darker there. I'm going to see what that does. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more on the hues. You can see now starting to find a little bit of the red. That's okay though. We've got some other things that we can do there. So now we've learned orange. Now I'm going to go to my, again, I'm going to learn another color. Let's learn, let's say, we'll learn green. I'll click New Model. When I click New Model, I'm going to type in green. When I got my folder green there, I'm going to add new color, and then I'm going to zoom back out, take my little circle here, and this circle can be any size too, so sometimes when you're learning a color, you don't have a lot of good color to choose from, so you might have to make that circle pretty small. I'm going to move it right there. I'm going to hit enter. There's the graphic overlay, and let's see here. Let's move this up over here, and maybe I'll highlight that a little bit and move that around. Kind of do some things there. That's not too bad. I might go a little bit higher. But now when I go to the little too high, maybe on the highlights there, I'm going to back that down a little bit. And that's, I think that's going to be good. Let's just work with just those three colors. I'm going to hit OK. Now when I hit OK, you notice that the screen just went black and white. And what it really is a filter tool, right? So all the colors I learned, right? If I go to the lower left hand or lower right hand corner of my screen here, I've got the tab library. And here are the three colors I learned: red, orange, and green. So if I turn red off and I turn orange off, then all it's going to show is what is in green. Okay. Well, let's say that I want to focus in on just the on the green color here, and but I want to clean this up a little bit. Well, the nice thing about Cognex is that we have all the other tools that we can kind of put on top of the color, right? So let's just do this real quick. We've learned these colors, but I'm going to go over here to my lower left hand corner to image filter tools, right? And I'm going to apply a filter on top of my filtered color image. So I'm going to click add here. Here's my magenta box. I'm going to expand or maximize the region just like I did before. Now before I hit OK, the tool image that I want this new filter to be on, it's not the raw acquisition, but it's the actual color library that I want. So I'm actually putting a filter on top of a filter. So I'm going to hit OK on that, and I'm going to call this, we'll call this clean up image. All right, and so I've got that tied to my filter there. Now when we go into the settings of a filter tool, you got filter type. And I've got all of these to choose from. And the nice thing about Cognex and the Easy Builder is got a lot of power here, a lot of tools to choose from. And what I'm going to do right off the bat is I'm probably going to go to fill light holes. Fill the dark holes. If I fill the dark holes, any dark hole is going to fill in for me to focus on. So that kind of helps out a little bit. I could go to the erode, and when I hit erode, notice that it cleaned up all of that other noise. All the other pixels that were sort of out there are all cleaned up. In fact, I could increase the kernel row and kernel column, okay, and maybe I'm just going to leave it just like that. So now if I'm just looking for green, all I'm looking for is that green right there. But let's take it a step further. Let's add another filter on top of this filter. So I'm going to go back to the lower left hand corner. I'm going to click filter. I'm going to click add. I'm going to maximize that region again. But this time, not the raw acquisition, but not the color, but I'm going to put it on top of the cleanup filter. And in this filter, we should call this one fill in the holes. So I'll just fill in holes, right? And so that's that filter that we kind of played around with, where we're actually going to fill in dark holes. So as you can see now, if I cycle through my images, I've got my green showing up, and I think green's in the same spot in all the images. But let's do this. I'm going to go back to the first image. I'm going to double click on my library here and pull up this, and instead of looking for green, how about we look for red? And now we apply that and move that around and see what we can find. And we can go to orange, and we can take a look at on the orange side. And so Just real quick, that's just taking a look at how to apply color, maybe put a couple other, filters on top of our tools, and then if I take a look at fill in hole, in fact, let me just focus. I'm going to go back to library. I'm going to click on orange, and then I'm going to go into fill the hole in. And now I'm going to cycle through and count all my orange tools. So anyways, that's just one quick way to learn color, apply some filters, clean it up a little bit, and go from there on the color tool. So if there are any other questions, you can always reach out to our application engineering group. You can find us at rrfloody.com or look us up at some YouTube channels on other how-to videos to utilize Easy Builder software. Thank you.